So interesting article. Honestly, classic Nick. I didn't read the whole thing. I don't need to read the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
Titled, "You no longer need photography skills to be a good photographer."
Okay.
Okay. You could probably guess what it's talking about. Like, it's basically just talking about all the advancements in camera gear.
Mm-hmm.
For example, here, stabilization, autofocus is like freaking perfect. Can capture animals now, depending on what camera you have. Like super fast shutter speeds and like 8K, 4K,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. I mean, obviously these are more higher end cameras, but like, I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. Like, I think it's a lot easier to take a good photo now.
Yes.
I don't think that makes you a good photographer. Or, well, yeah, because this is saying, right, you no longer need photography skills to be a good photographer. But
Right.
I think that's not necessarily the case. Just because you can take a photo that has, that nice bokeh
Yeah.
or whatever, like something's frozen in action,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't automatically make it a good photo or make you a good photographer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing it's saying too is even with editing, especially if we look at something like, what's it, AI Luminar, whatever.
Luminar AI.
Yeah, that one. Because that's just like does everything for you, doesn't it?
All by
pretty
itself.
much. Yeah. And that also is very helpful
Mm-hmm.
in making your photos look better.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like having that like eye for composition and like all that kind of stuff, I don't know. I feel like you need that to be a good photographer.
Yeah. Like, I think a lot of people have the composition kind of naturally, like especially with the rule of thirds stuff that we did in school.
Yeah.
That's kind of natural. Like, you kind of naturally want to put it in those quadrants, but using it smartly,
Yeah.
and in the right ways, and that's even just one part of it. Like, talk about the lighting.
I was just thinking that too.
Nobody, just amateurs, don't know anything about proper lighting.
No.
And even if they want to use a light, like, that's just a light. That's one light. And yeah, like, if you're an amateur, 100%, if you want to keep going into photography, even just get one light and it'll change everything.
Yeah.
If you play around with the angles, put a softbox, or don't put a softbox.
Yeah.
Like, play around with it, and like, that's a huge upgrade from nothing.
Oh, absolutely. Even using like, whether that's like little flashes or even reflectors.
Yeah.
And
even
diffusers.
That. Yeah.
Especially if you're shooting like in the sun.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done a lot of recently, so I haven't really used that. But like, it's such a huge difference.
Yeah.
You want some nice soft lighting instead of like that disgusting harsh noon sunlight.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't know these things, like just because you have good gear, that doesn't mean you know how to do those things. And you can definitely still take a bad photo with good gear.
Yeah.
Like the photo itself could be good, but the lighting, the composition, if those things aren't good, then the photo's not really good.
Yeah.
Like, it might be super sharp, like beautiful, but that doesn't matter. That's not the only thing that matters, at least.
And like, the Luminar AI and Photoshop, Photoshop's getting more and more AI stuff. Like, that can, I don't even want to say like it's not going to be able to do that. Like, if you shoot like something with a softbox, there's no way you can make it specular with any way using AI.
I mean, okay, technically you could maybe have more luck trying to do that than the other way around. Maybe not actually, because I was gonna say you could like kind of like if you were to like make shadows yourself
Yeah.
on top of the shadows already created, then you like could sort of maybe make like hard edged,
Yeah.
but I don't think it would look good.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see where the AI can go.
Yeah.
But for now, like, you need to know your lighting if you want to do like professional stuff, and you can't just tell an AI to do it for you.
I mean, also though, to be fair, like I think there are definitely people who are not necessarily good photographers but have good gear, and you could still make it.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
For us, those that go study it and learn all this, take the time to learn all this, also buy the good gear, and then may not do as well, even though realistically they're better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy with all the technology we have now. Like, it's just becoming easier and easier to take good photos.
Yeah.
Or high quality photos.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, but like that's the thing that we disagree with the article. It says you don't need photography skills.
Yeah.
Which photography skills isn't just clicking a button on the camera. It's photography encompasses all of that. Like the lighting, the composition, all that. So yeah. I still think you need to know the lighting.
Yeah. Because even looking back on like my older stuff, I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Like I had a decent camera. Like, I mean, it was a Rebel. It's not horrible, not great. Like there's definitely a lot better, but you can take a good photo with that. If you know what you're doing, you can take a good photo with that. You can take a good photo with your freaking phone, with anything pretty much now.
Yeah.
Like pretty much any camera you can get.
For sure.
If you know what you're doing, you can make it look good.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't know what you're doing and have a good camera, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like I look at old photos, some of them like overexposed, like just little things. Even videos, when I look back, I'm like, what is this? This is just little things that now I'm like, I feel like I'm so much better. I've improved so much with like noticing those little things that like I'm a lot happier with my videos right now. And that's not to say that I think I'm like the best now. I think I still could learn a lot, but I don't know. I think I have some photography skill is what I'll say.
Yeah.
And videography. So having good gear just assists in creating good content.
Yeah.
But it's not absolutely necessary, and it's not what makes or breaks good photography.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay. I think we pretty much like covered everything. Honestly, that was all I read in the article about just about camera advancements and then obviously like I think they were talking more about Lightroom, but I don't think there's really anything else that there'd be to add to this. Like I feel like we covered that pretty good, and just like learn your photography, kids.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, like don't just buy the gear. Learn first before you go spend a ton of money on gear.
Or learn and buy the gear. Or at the same time. Learn your gear.
That's fair.
Boom.
Boom.